Okay, we're holding page Kuf Pei Vav. Siminun Gimel. Page Sif Tes. We're discussing the dinim of hiring a Chazan Kavua, a Shatz Kavua and a Shul.
Kuf Pei Vav. Pei Vav. There, the last one.
We only appoint someone to be a shliach tzibur if he is someone who has grown a beard. Isn't the
first prerequisite that it should be Jewish?
We already learned some other prerequisites before. This is now, even if the tzibur is meichel and they're covered, it's aser. But Medan is only discussing Mashiach tzibur kavua, someone you hire permanently. Aval ba'kroi, temporarily yachol later fnei ateva mishehevi beis sidus. As long as he has beis sidus, with two sides. No haste above.
It's already out. Where you don't play it. Doesn't hear you. Make sure you. Make sure it's on.
Thank you. ובלבד שיסמנה מפי הציבור פי השליח ציבור מנה איסי להוקל מעולו וספלו בעדי ואיתו. שגם כן כפי יסו איסי מכם. We should not appoint him to daven even permanently as a second chazan. ונו הציבור, השליח ציבור שיהיה הוא מוכן לספל לפעמים, כשיהיה השליח ציבור בית הכנסת, אין זה לככביוס, ושאפשר שלא יוב לידי כך, but also the itim yaduim shel eisa kavua vadi, unless it's at a certain time.
Or you can join us.
Unless it's at a certain time that you're appointing him, it's not a problem. Calls of Chalash Hashanah the entire year. With Tainus on the top of page Kupei Zayin, doing a Tainus Sibur, Tzarich Liyis Zakin Mamish. You have to have someone who's older, an older person. Shatz l'chatchila. You should have an older person davening for the Amid and the Tainus Sibur, or a Hamuflik Shibit Sibur, or the most chashiv person in the minyan should daven for the Amid. V'hu Adam Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Tevshiyah Adam Muflik Shech Tzibur Efsh. As well as Hashanah Yom Kippur, you should appoint a special person to daven, a special person in Midas and in the Shemayim.
Like Rabbi Lerner.
Sif Yud, Im Ein Shamishi Yedei Ali Shlich Tzibur Ki Ben Yigimel Shanim Echad. If someone does not know how to be a chazan, unless you only have someone who's 13 years old, just bar mitzvah. Miyutiv shiyu hu sheich tzibur af b'she'in lezakin yishizbatlu mishmaya kedusha v'kadish. At least he should be a chazan if no one else knows, although then not hearing kedusha and kaddish. It's not leikuva. Sif Yud Aleph. Kol mi sheni bal zakin, kol shenikir bay, shegiyam l'klal shalom, sheroy l'smal ziknei, hareza ki'il l'smal ziknei. Anyone who reached the age where he's roy that his beard should grow in, even though it didn't, it's still considered as if it did grow in. As long as he's 20 years old, you can appoint him. If he's 18 above and he has a little bit, it's also enough. Sif Yud Beis, Sadis Yishem Yishemutam Noisim Ben Eser. Sadis, some say you're allowed to appoint him if he's 20 years old. Sha'oz Nasa God Shinim Beisman Sadis. He's someone who he never becomes bar mitzvah, matures, become bar mitzvah, physically. So he's 20 years old, then he's considered a gadol if he has a certain simonim that a saris has. If you don't see it, a person is not considered a gadol bar mitzvah till he's 35 years old, which is most of a person's life, because they say no shivim shana, 70 years is what says in Tehillim, if gevurei shmeinim shana. So 35 years, after 35 years, entered into majority of one's life.
So what did it mean, Mashavi Beish Cyrus and Tess? What did that mean?
He's not talking about source, but talking about a regular person.
Says Yaakov, we had to Mashavi Beish Cyrus.
It's not clear to me over here, the pshat over here. If we're talking about the smala ziknoi lamata or lamaila. It's not clear to me. If we're talking about the person around the smala ziknoi by the Ever Hagid, we're talking about smala ziknoi lamaila. Later on, it seems to be we're talking about
His face.
but other places doesn't seem this way. I don't.
Well, you need to pay. It's already good in Mashiva Beish Cyrus Lamata, so what do I need? What's this new thing about the face? It's not a raya if you have the mud, you'll need it, you'll have it in the face. It's not a raya.
It's talking about Lamayla, but I have to look into it more.
Sense, yeah.
Because I see there's certain notes in the bottom referring to other places that are not as I have to look it up first. I'm not sure if it's necessarily correct, the notes. Some say even if someone is sadis and he's 35 years old and apiyalacha he's allowed, but it's not roi kavod tzibur to appoint such a person. Sifyut Gimel Yesh Lamet Schos important halacha Hamakoymish Shenoigin Haktanim Yardin Lefnei Hateva Espal Arvis Beitzoi Shabbos. There were certain places that had children going up to daven for the Amud. Last week we learned about children going up until Yishtabach. Over here we're learning about Ktanim going up to daven Ma'ariv Matzah Shabbos. She'ein Metzinas Rami Dei Chavasim. Because they're not Moitzi the Rabbim, She'ein Machzinas Atfila. They don't do Chazaras Hashatz. Akshoim Baruchu V'Kadish. So someone in Malamet Schos said it's not a Chazaras Hashatz, so it's okay.
So why Motzei Shabbos and not every night? What's the thing?
They're probably not in
That's
shul.
maybe when they're in shul, but I don't know. It's a good kasha. Maybe it's because that's when they're in shul. If those places that don't have this minig, don't introduce this minig. Ein lekoten lav v'fnei teva fil tefillas arvis. Even my ma'ariv, there's no chazaras hashat, you should not allow the cotton to go down.
What's a pshat kaddish? Where do we see any other instance in anything that a cotton says kaddish? There were people are being yotzei. She'enachinami, if he's an avo, he's saying kaddish, but part of the kaddish when you daven mariv is at tzibur dika kaddish. What's the havamina to even think such a thing?
It's a good question. L'maitza, it seems that we know that a cotton is allowed to be called up from after. Yeah? And he says Baruch Hu. And everyone answers Baruch Hu. So there's a svara to say...
Baruch Hu, he says, is his own... we're not being yaitse with his Baruch Hu. It's favorish. When someone says Baruch Hu, Tzai and Shach, with Tzai over there, we're answering his Baruch Hu, but we're not yaitse with the fact that he says Baruch Hu. It's different. When he says Kaddish, it's different. He's having tzibur in mind for us to say Kaddish. You need a minyan. I
don't know the answer to why. What about Kaddish? Regarding Baruch Hu, there is a svara to learn out that.
I'll bring you a raya that we learned in other Ashir is when you're allowed to answer. We learned it in Allah do. We already learned about Hilchos we already learned about Hilchos when you say Baruch Hu, that when an individual goes say, it's not something it's something where you bring Yotzei the Tziva or something. You already mentioned this in the halacha. You learned in last week's halacha.
Mm-hmm.
A cotton could read the Torah also. Let's say a million, nobody but Balkir and a cotton know how to read. He could read.
Yeah.
Regarding Baruch Hu, the svara to say, but then the Alter Rebbe in the to compare it to Baruch Hu of Kriyas HaTorah, the meaning is that we don't have a cotton going up, but the Maisa, he could men hadin read it maftir. But the Maisa in the parentheses here, the Alter Rebbe spells out that the issue with the cotton going up to the Amid is because of the Baruch Hu. That's the main issue, and regarding Kaddish, a lot of the Olam doesn't say Kaddish before Baruch Hu. We do say Kaddish before Baruch Hu. But a lot of places go right, V'hurachum, they go straight to Baruch Hu. There is no Kaddish.
What about the Kaddish after Ashkivein?
I don't
At
know.
everyone.
Right? I don't know. It's a good question.
Could be the cotton doesn't say it, only somebody else.
No, it seems to be that they could say it from here.
I never saw a minig that the cotton up in my Shabbos.
Yeah.
It says Mishma Baruch Hu Shabbat v'hu adin shel yifris al Shema. The parentheses is if you gimel mi shel Shama Baruch Hu b'shachris. Also in the morning there's something called Peiros al Shema, saying Shema and Baruch Hu for the Olam. Also for someone who didn't hear Baruch Hu in the morning, you shouldn't have a cotton doing it. It's not comparable to Aliyah L'Torah. She'ene choyva kol kach. It's not a choy for everyone to hear the Baruch Hu. Ela la'oila likis b'Torah. The one who's being called to the Torah has to say Baruch Hu. But it's not a chi that you have to hear this amount of Baruch Hu's every... So it's not the same level of Baruch Hu. But the Baruch Hu that we have in Shachris and Meir is a chiyuv for everyone to hear. So therefore, a person should not be yoitze with the cotton. The cotton is sheini chayiv ini mitzi midei chavasan. A cotton which is not chayiv is not moitzi them idei chavasan. Filu misha megiel l'klal yugimel shanim yom Shabbos. Even someone who becomes bar mitzvah on Shabbos. Ein le l'spala arva shel Shabbos. He should not daven Meir of Shabbos.
Why not?
Why not?
It's bar mitzvah.
V'mekoymish enoigin l'spala shel Shabbos be'eresham de'yim shediseva Shabbos.
Oh, that's different.
He was in place to daven early.
That's not bar mitzvah yet.
Oh, so Shabbos you took in early. The Kehila takes in Shabbos early.
That's different.
She'adayin lishma yigimel shana ad leil Shabbos shetesefa Shabbos in amoyli shnoisi mei hanoyer. When we say that Shabbos we take in early, it doesn't mean that the days change. That now it's night. It's not night. It's day. But you're being moisef from Choil to Shabbos. You're taking Shabbos in your daytime. But Lagabi, the age of the boy,
It's not bar
is
mitzvah
still till night. He has to wait. There's this Shilas and Paskin. What happens if a cotton, if a fast is pushed earlier? Sometimes you have a fast that pushed earlier. Let's say
it's Chal Shabbos, so they do it. Right, the Chal Shabbos, so they do it
right.
on
Let's say it's going to be on a
Thursday
Friday,
night. And the fest
or
is Thursday.
Purim's on Sunday, right?
Right.
So we do it on Thursday.
Right.
And I think there's even a case where Soda Batavis but that we don't push off. So let's say he's pushed off to Tanis S is pushed off earlier. So what happens if he comes bar mitzvah on Thursday? Is he chayiv to fast? Is he considered his bar mitzvah is only? No, I'm sorry.
The real day is your
If his bar mitzvah, if he's bar mitzvah on Thursday,
I have a nephew.
he's not chayiv. The shayla is more. What happens if bar mitzvah on Shabbos? Let's say when the day which is supposed to be the day of Tanis.
They make it earlier.
I have a
And now it's
nephew.
earlier.
I have a nephew.
So since by that zman he would be chayiv, so even though now he's earlier, now the tinus is earlier, maybe he should be chayiv earlier. Because when it will come the zman of the chiyuv, l'mafreya, he would have been chayiv. Right now he didn't yet become bar mitzvah.
Right.
And then he will become bar mitzvah, and then l'mafreya he will be chayiv on Thursday to have fasted.
But anyway, our minhag is to
Huh?
fast.
That fast is very relative to make a land.
Anyway, our minhag is to fast, I think, 3 or 4 times before the bar mitzvah. Not as a chov, it's to get used to.
Okay, but he's saying the chiyuv. He's asking on the chiyuv.
The Parshas he wouldn't be chayiv because he's not taught in yet.
Yeah, he's asking the chiyuv. Where do you get this? I don't understand the question. Where do you work? There's an Indian in Lemafreya. But where do you get this Lemafreya? If you do the Mafreya thing, isn't chal. Once he becomes bar mitzvah, the Mafreya is already obsolete. There's no more Mafreya. He wasn't bar mitzvah. Now he becomes bar mitzvah. So you want to say Lemafreya. There's a double Lemafreya?
I mean, I have to look into the thing. There's even a sikh about it. Maybe it's the fashados fakert. Maybe there was an negeya that if he becomes bar mitzvah on the tashlumin, if he's chayev, because everyone's fasting today and he's bar mitzvah today,
That's already
maybe that was the shayla. Maybe he should be chayev now because he's able to fast, and that's why everyone's fasting. Or we say no. Oh, the shayla is whether tashlumin is that the actual day is pushed off.
That's a question.
Spaghetti tashlumin. I think that was the shayla.
That's
Maybe.
Also, it's a little bit Pesach, I think, if he could be mitzvah to
No.
Korban Pesach.
Yeah,
Because the
that's
Kotan
the
is not
thing.
mitzvah to Korban Pesach.
Right. No.
So that would be a shayla only if the bar mitzvah was on
Shabbos.
on the first day of Pesach.
Right.
And so then the shayla, how is he going to be munah?
How is it Mamona?
Arab.
Yes.
Instead of Pesach, he can be mitzvah.
Now, Masha Amru, page top of page Kupeiches. This is Chazal say, Yud Gimel Shana B'Yem Echad. Chazal, the Lashon of Chazal is in Gemara that a bar mitzvah, someone becomes bar mitzvah when he is 13 years and 1 day. Where does this language come from? Lo yishet tzarich yoyim echad yoyser al Yud Gimel. It's not pshat that he needs to have another day after 13 years. The Chazal are trying to just point out, to stress that you need to have 13 complete years. And not that 1 day into the 13th year is nechshav a year, meaning a person could think, oh, 12 after the 12th year, after he turns 12, he goes into the first day of his 13th year. As soon as someone becomes bar mitzvah, the day does not need to pass for him to become bar mitzvah. He enters into that night, he's already bar mitzvah. You don't need to have 13 years me'es la'es. You don't count it in a 24-hour period. Meaning whether, let's say he was born a little later into the day. So say, oh, it's not a complete 13 years till he's born, till the time, actually the hour of the day that he was born, then it's a complete thing. We don't go by hours. It goes by days.
Could be 23 hours earlier for mitzvah.
It's like Hilchos Nida.
The question is, 13 years is the age, but a person also needs to have physical maturity of growing of 2 sidus
Right.
around the bris. And whether or not one needs to check if he actually reached that level of maturity is going to discuss later. But there it brings out that it depends. We're talking about the Rabbanon and the Raisa. When it comes to Din the Rabbanon, we're soymech and a chazaka that a boy that reaches that age also matured, physically matured. However, when it comes to deraisa, we don't rely on the fact that he had it. So if you want to do anything deraisa, to be moitzi the rabbim in the midst of deraisa, let's say he wants to blow shofar for someone, or something like that, he would have to have beisidus. If you want, it would not just be 13. You'd have to know for sure that he, as well as, let's say, certain things in a matzah bakery, certain things that require lishma, min haTorah require to be done lishma for the sake of the mitzvah. So just passing around the sticks and cleaning, that's not an issue. But anything which is a real thing that's negayah to mitzvah min haTorah, we would have to know the attacker reached that level of maturity. So so someone should be hearing shofar or be yotz another mitzvah deraisa the first day Rosh Hashanah from a boy that just became bar mitzvah. When he's already a while later, so then we're not worried. But when he just became bar mitzvah, lav dafka he has beisidus, and therefore when it comes to a minyan davening for the amud, as soon as the boy reaches bar mitzvah, he runs to the amud. He's very happy he could daven, no problem. It's a midrabanan, and we saymech and chazaka. When it comes to anything deraisa, we're not saymech on it.
What if he would come and declare, I want everyone to know, bar mitzvah, I don't have shtei cyrus. Is he allowed down for the tzibur?
I don't know if he could. I don't think he could.
Why should a bar mitzvah? It's very shy. Why should any bar mitzvah who doesn't be? Maybe you should encourage, make an announcement. Any boy who doesn't have shtei cyrus isn't allowed to daven. Then we'll have him just in case.
No, if he knows for sure he doesn't have, he can. You don't have to go ask anyone, but...
You don't have to ask, no. Just
today is the Yotzei from Rav Shkatz from Kfar Chabad. I heard from him, he used to live in Tel Aviv. He said when he was young, his father was the Rav in Tel Aviv. And the only matzah bakery that he could ride was the Chabad matzah bakery in Tel Aviv. The Chazan Ish came to bake matzahs with them. And there was one guy from Kfar Chabad, his name was a short guy. He was I think 14 or 15. And he looked at him and he said, like, he's a cotton. He can't walk here. So the Ashkenazid father told him, no, he's already bar mitzvah. He's 14 or 15. He said, no, I am not Samech. I have to check if he has 2,000. So the Ashkenazid says he came out in the room and he said, he's a godel, he's a godel. Today's is Yotzei.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
So, Sifya Dalit.
Not know what to say on himself.
Shliach.
Not know what to say on himself.
The bar mitzvah boy?
Yeah.
Oh, does he know what to say on himself that he has?
He could. But you're talking about matzah bakery.
Not sure. Not sure.
Shmuel, etc.
Not sure if he's. I'm not sure if he could be saying from Nida. So the Torah clearly believes that the Nida.
Same thing should be by the mitzvah boy if he has shtei cyrus.
Not sure if he could, because because it could be he's a cotton. So how do we have the? He's being made that he's a gadol, but his edus will only help if he's a gadol. Not sure. When a nida is a miyuchadik thing, that's the pasuk says v'safar la that with her believes that her edus is on her own.
That's the surah.
It's a special thing by nida. It doesn't connect it to other.
It's not allowed to say that,
No, because eidach and amisur is begabi something else. Not. She's Naman Lagabi herself that she did all the Vedikas and everything, went to the mikvah and she's believed.
She should be chazaka, but she needs somebody else to tell her.
Well, she's able to, as long as it's possible that she's able to, we believe her. She says. Sifri Dalet. Shliach Tzibur Shemayrich Tfilasik Dishmishmu Koil Koile Ha'ariv. If you have a chazan who's taking a long time davening because he wants people to hear his sweet voice, so it depends why he's doing it. If he's doing it because he's very happy in his heart, he's praising Hashem, the sweetness, Adarab, a beautiful thing. Who is she spell but koivereish? You can't be daven with seriousness, not. If it's just a concert, the samech bekoile harezim agona is disgusting. But all of nemar nosna alai bekoila. She has turned to me with her voice. Al kain sinisi, and therefore I hated her. Yikol makin kol shemayla tilas alei toivu oisipei terech hatzibur. Even the first person who is doing it for Hashem, still in all, you shouldn't do too long because people need to go work, they need to do things. Terech hatzibur. Terech hatzibur. Chazal were very concerned with terech hatzibur. So something reasonable, not you want. Then you could daven privately by yourself, or for the Amid you have to daven the average time. So we don't have to, a lot of the big shuls that have big old shuls, they have special concerts going on. It's not the Chachamim were not happy with this. They tell you come and hear sliches for the concert in Manhattan. In the synagogue and on which street?
2 hours.
Yeah, it's mamish ba'avodah. They daven by riches of avodah, or Svida Soimer, this nicht das hat man gemeint. Sifta Zvav. Mishlei Yeshlei Koil Noim. Someone has a sweet voice, she uses it out to sing to Hashem and not to sing other songs. Use out this kisharim which you have, this talent, should be used out. But used out to sing to Hashem and not for other songs.
Yessel Rosenblatt was offered positions to record for not Chazanas and stuff, for albums and Broadway and stuff like that.
He says no.
And he refused.
Hi.
For this reason.
You want to use it for Kedusha only?
Yeah.
Kol hakavod.
V'mirok yikaneach v'achkach yispal. Someone spit, he should first wipe his mouth and only then continue davening. Why is halacha the sif? I'm not sure.
Because when you sing, when you're a chazan, there's more of a likelihood that you have to do it. That's why it should.
Sifta Zayin. Ememanin lage sofosh in yoidin lachtecha oisius. Those that do not know how to read properly, or some people have certain things they cannot pronounce correctly. There were once upon a time people that were new and Bali Diktuk, they knew how to say the difference between an aleph and an ayin. Now we are all lage safa. We all fall into the category of people that don't know how to read properly. But then you were not supposed to point someone who did not know the difference. Someone who calls all the chesin hey. People that say a ches, they say it with a hey.
Hungarian.
Like Americans.
No, they used to have the accent in Hungary. There's a lot of people who it's difficult to say. Hani is called hani. No, I'm not saying Hasidim, but
you have in America the same thing where there's no ches.
There's no
ches.
A Baal Korah has to be called back on it. He does that.
Yes.
He need to know. He need to know this every word.
Yes. Im kula medabrim kach mutar li Hashem she'etzima. If everyone in that area speaks that way, so he's allowed to be a shliach tzibur in that place. Be a chazan. They don't need to go and hire someone from a different city. That whole area, no one pronounces the
hey.
In Russia, it's the opposite. There is no hey. There's only a ches, right? That's why you say, how are you doing?
how are you?
Because it's hard to say how.
Hey, they don't have the
Tonight is the yard site of the Alter Rebbe, and the Alter Rebbe is buried in a city which in Russia is called Gadich. We call Hadich. But in Russia it's called Gadich because they don't say the hey, they say with a ga. G. Gadich. Same thing with Horowitz and Garowitz, the two names are the same. Garevich and Horowitz, they're both the same names. Horowitz is the way you say
in Hebrew.
Or the rest of them?
Gorevich also.
Gorevich is really, they wouldn't say with a hey, they would say with a gimel.
That's King's
So,
Chayve. But
A lot of
really
people, a lot of
King's
them are
Chayve.
related. A lot of them are related. The Horowitz, the Garowitz, they're related. A lot of names like this.
Gorevich was a very big
Gutnik,
part of
Gutnik is really Hutnik.
Mm-hmm.
It was Hutnik. But
They
that's
didn't know
what-
how to say it, so they put the G. I mean,
And is Lamaisa, if someone feels that they don't know how to daven, to say all the words properly, and especially at the speed that the Chazan is required to daven, he shouldn't go up. And even if someone's le'aleinu a chiyuv, he also should bypass it and say Kaddish and everything, but he can let someone else go to the Amid. It's not a chiyuv. I see sometimes people pressuring themselves to go to the Amid, and it's difficult for them, and they'd rather really, during the year they don't go up to the Chazan, they stand on the side and they down themselves quietly. They don't have to pressure themselves to go up to the Amid.
if you don't know how to say that word,
If it's difficult for them and then I would say it properly, then better they should daven on privately and say it properly. And as well, the tzibur should hear from some chazan who knows how to say the words.
What if someone approaches you to daven and you feel that there are other people in the Harlem better qualified or have more better job than yourself? So could you disqualify yourself? No, I'm saying to have.
He's an Erlicha person.
There are people that are very qualified.
Right? Is that a person? Yeah, of course.
Say I think other people could do a better job. You know, like degrading.
Adarabba. If the other people are willing to go up, then Adarabba.
But I don't know if you stated this law already, but just came to my mind. Is this little makpid where a guy is going up should be married?
We mentioned something.
No, I'm saying
he only
today.
said you have
Last
to be, no,
week.
he only said that you have to be 13 and you have to be to
No, I know that, but I'm saying in general.
and know how to
sense.
read right. No, it doesn't say anything
General sense,
about
no,
it. In Rosh Hashanah, in Yom Kippur, it says you should be a married person with kids. Because then his davening is more with the heart. Rosh Hashanah, in Yom
It's a
Kippur.
din.
Yeah,
It's a din.
Where's Mashi?
it's better to have somebody who who married and with kid. Then his bakosha is more strong.
Now, Sif Yud Zayin. Peicheach. What's a peicheach? Whom should big day karua was re'oisav megulin le'yedef na'itei v'kavad tzibur. Someone whose clothing are ripped, his arms are revealed, he should not go before the davening v'kavad tzibur. V'roi l'shich tzibur sh'l'yilei re'godim aruchim. It's proper for the tzibur to have long clothing. Sh'le'yiru raglov. Should not see his feet.
Open we go to Florida and over there you have
Mehoylech b'lei and polois. If he goes with socks, you don't see. But if
in
he
Florida I see a
not,
lot of
you have to
people
have-
short pants like till the knee and they're chazani. How do you do it?
here it's clear. It's, maybe over there it's covered at tzibur, but the tzibur.
Even in Chabad I saw Shkech Tzivu is davening with short pants. It's like, hey.
You should wear pants. Maybe they should hang up pants near the amud.
Great idea. Or maybe a kapota that covers everything.
Yeah, that's a nicer way to do it. Maybe. Sifit ches suma. A blind person, yoydev ne'ateva, is allowed to daven for the amud. Yishachaye b'chol mitzvahs.
Blind
He's chaye
person
b'chol
is
mitzvahs.
not allowed.
He's allowed. As long as he knows by heart the davening, he could daven. Yochel hoitzi seramidi chavasan, and he can even be moitzi the oilam to their chiyuv. Baruch Hu, kedusha. Sifir test. Shliach tzibur kavua yoydet v'nei ateva me'atzmei liyant n'sha'im loy shenidah shenisemech al dibar tzibur sheno lekach. If someone was appointed officially as shliach tzibur, he does not need to wait for anyone to send him to the amud. You're appointed. You go up at the appropriate time on your own. The gabbai, you don't need to wait for the gabbai. If someone's not officially the shliach tzibur, the chazan, he should not right away run to the amud. He should say, it's not, not for me. But what happens if he's asked again? Well, he should not refuse too much. The first time he says, it's not for me, I'm not kedai, get someone else. They tell him a second time, Meichen atzmei k'mei sheroitz alamid. He prepares himself as if he's wants to get up. Hamashlishi, he should already get up and he should not go. V'im oimer v'sheyedu adam gadol. Is someone, the person who told him is a adam gadol. He's a great person, and he should not at all refuse him. The Rav of the Shul went and asked you to go up, you go up. You're not going to make him, he's not the Gabbai. Shemsarvan lagadol. Halvadavar sheyesh peigasis usrara. Unless it's something which is going to bring out gaiva in you, then you can refuse the position. L'maisa, today's days, if the tzibur is waiting around, and you need someone to go up, so it's not then it's necessary for someone to go up. So then you go up without, don't make this. This is all talking about in cases where there's plenty of people to daven, and there are plenty of people that could go up.
You just want to go.
It's just that you think that the other people that are more kedai should go up. But other than that, you're not. If you see that the whole is waiting, there's not an inyan to make everyone wait and sit around, because if you could daven, you know how to daven, then go up and daven. It's not an inyan that you have to. Sivcha. Im Torah shlich tzibur tzichin lahamid acher tachtov. Ois shemin tachtov yisar klal. Shegnayu shetehei atfilim of sekos kolkach. We can learn out what we just said from this din over here. If a shliach tzibur made a mistake, there are certain mistakes that the shliach tzibur makes. We're going to see soon certain things that that's not right for him to be the chazan. So we need to tell him, please step aside. We're going to appoint another chazan. But the person who's coming after him shouldn't play this game where he's waiting till he's asked a few times to go up. The whole oilam is waiting. If you're told to go up, you go up. Because otherwise it's a gnai for the tefillah that everyone's sitting around waiting. Siv Chafalef. Big day tzvuim. Someone says, I'm not going to go down for the Amid because I have colored clothing. I only want to wear white clothing. Sandal Shabaraglei. Or because I'm wearing these sandals, and I feel like, like Koyanim, you take off your sandal, like we learned in the Parsha this week, last week. Shal no lecha me'al raglecha. That Moshe was told when he approached Hashem, he approached the Sneh, to take off your nalayim. Lo yedid ba'ois tefillah kal. Such a person who makes this type of requirements should not be a chazan at all. Lo b'tzavaynim, lo b'tzvuyim, either whatever whether it's white, whether it's colored, don't send them up. This is something that Apikursin are makbid, how they dress when they go up. We're worried that it may be something heretical about him. Why does he have such interesting requests? Even though he doesn't say it's because of Apikursis that he wants to do, he wants to be similar to what they're doing in other religions and different things. He says, no, I want to do because it's a derech harnava l'b'shem. It's much more not haughty to wear colored clothing. I'm going to be a chazan in the shul, and you're appointing me to be the chazan now. You're hiring me, my contract. I want to wear white clothing. It's not haughty. Doesn't make a difference. Mikol makivin shat sibrim of action l'spalam kach ein roi loy li sarvim pei dvarim elu. Since the tzibur is telling him that we don't want you to wear white, he shouldn't be. Why is he putting his foot down so much on this Indian? So we're nervous in Loisha because there's some other reasons over here. So if you're having a chazan, you have to make sure he's has good opinions. You want to make sure. What is he thinking when he's up at the Amud?
Right, he represents everybody. So.
Sif Yichov Beis. Yesh Meinim Ger, some refrain from having a ger, becoming a chazan. Reason being, b'shein yochol loimer lekei aviseinu. He cannot say the parts of davening that say lekei aviseinu, the God of our fathers. What his fathers weren't at Har Sinai. V'nitchu divreihem, their words are pushed off. She'af hagedim yichoylem loimer lekei aviseinu. Even gedim are allowed to say lekei aviseinu. Shenemer ki av hamoin goyim v'saticho. Because Avram Avinu was told that I made you a father of all nations of the world. Mikan ve'elech ata'av, which means l'chol hagoyim shiz gaidu. Avram Avinu is the father of any gaidim. That's why again is Ben Avram. He's called, right? Ben Avram, because Avram is his father. So he does have a father. It is Elekei Aviseinu. So therefore, you could say Elekei Aviseinu.
They shouldn't have heard it.
No, you can.
So we can say,
Those were phrasing held because he can't say Elekei Aviseinu.
Oh, but it's not.
But we don't pass them. We don't know. A ger is allowed to say Elekei Aviseinu. There's no reason why to stop him. Why shouldn't he daven for the Amid?
You say Avram ben Avram.
If he chose the name Avram. He chose the name Avram, but it's Avram ben Avram.
Fred, it's Fred ben Avram. No, it's ben Avram. Because Avram is
Right?
I looked at the temperature.
Someone told me a story once, a Rav, that he was doing he had to Masada Kedushin for someone in his Kehillah, and they're from family, and they were there for many years in his shul. There came the day, they were marrying off one of the children, and the day of the chuppah, so he just sat on the day of the chuppah, right, working on the ksubah, and he asked them, he didn't think to ask any questions earlier, so he started asking them their background. So the mother said that she's really a Giyaris. He never knew, but she was a Giyaris, she was a convert, and she converted many, many years ago in a certain town in the United States by the rabbi in the shul thing. And he tried to find out who this Rav was in this town, and he said the rabbi passed away already, and it wasn't clear to him if it was Orthodox, it wasn't Orthodox, but the family is fully 100% from, and they're very from people. So there was no time for him to make. He had to make the chuppah that night. So what do you do? Because they're talking about the child of her child. So he had, I think I don't remember. I think it was the Kala, but I don't remember exactly. He said like this regarding the mother. The mother's not getting married now. It's not negaya to work out the mother's status. But the child's going to the chuppah. Let's do a gir l'chumra. Just we don't know what that gerus was.
Oh wow!
So that day he went to the mikveh right away, and just in case, if whatever that gerus was not a good gerus, so they made a gerus right away. And the mother Lav Dafka needs a gerus to remember what it is, so she could wait. We can deal with this tomorrow. But
Is there a bracha involved?
there is a bracha, but you don't say the bracha. It's a suffix. It's a suffix. You don't say the bracha. You don't have to say a bracha. The bracha is a bracha on toiveling.
Yeah,
so what happened?
He had the chassan or the kala go to the mikveh that day before. It's probably went already the night before or something, and they had to go again. So they went to the.
You have to worry.
He had another bris or
What?
what?
They're looking like 4 people. You have to worry.
You don't have to worry, but he asked. He started asking the family, and she said that I was converted. The thing was, it seemed like it was a conservative synagogue, because he called someone nearby and said the shul already maybe closed down, and the rabbi already passed away, but he thinks it was conservative. But the thing was, there were some conservative synagogues those years which had Orthodox rabbis. So there was not clarity as to who are you going to ask now, who's around to go and ask and find out what was that exactly was the conversion like. It's not, maybe he was able to do research, but that research would take some time. And now he had to make the chuppah, so you have to make the gerus right away.
That's a great one.
So Kala was the
I think it was the mother of the kala.
Oh, Mazur.
And she didn't.
The mother said to the Rav on that day, her family Rav, that was a shul that they davened at, said that, I'm a gerus. He never knew. She was davening all the years. He didn't know she was a gerus. Okay. But then the question was, what was exact? Now I need to make the kiddushin just to make sure. She didn't herself remember the details. She doesn't know herself what the details years ago. What was exactly the level and this.
It's interesting today around the world. Shluchim has an app that when somebody came from one community to the other community about girls, every shliach has connection worldwide, not only in the United States, worldwide.
There is such a thing?
Yeah, Shluchim has the app. Somebody in California, he moved to Australia. The shliach no qualified other shliach. To know what the whole background. And they work together with the Israeli government. What is it called? Misrad Hadatot, whatever. No more monkey business.
Okay.
Sag ein Wort von der Alter Rebbe.
And parents asked me what's going to be the shear. I was thinking, maybe we have to give a shear in the Alter Rebbe's Torah.
Right?
And I realized that we learned the Alter Rebbe's Torah.
This is Alter Rebbe.
So this is the learning the Torah of the Baal Hayilullah.
Maybe we have something on Derech HaDrush.
Story about.
One time someone came to the Alter Rebbe with a chassid. He came with a whole list of requests of different things which he needed. Important things, very important things. Parnasa, Shidduchim, and the Alter Rebbe was reading it and he looked at it and he said, turned to him and he said, on this list it says everything that you need. But what you're needed for, there's nothing on this settle over here of anything what you're needed for. And he heard that, he chalished, he fainted. And then when he woke up, the Alter Rebbe gave him a seder, what he's needed for, what Hashem needs you for. So we're very busy thinking about things we need, and we're not able to get away from that because we always think about ourselves and our needs. And but we also have to also remember the things that Hashem needs us for, the things that we're needed for, and we should take upon ourselves to learn the Alter Rebbe's Torah, whether in the Shulchan Aruch or the Tanya, or the other Sfarim. The Alter Rebbe was a neshama chadasha, was a new neshama. It says in Sfarim there are only 600,000 neshamas. All the rest of us are all splinters of other neshamas. And there are only 600,000 original neshamas. And most of the neshamas came down already, the original neshamas. And the rest are sparks and splinters of other neshamas, branches of other. And that's why certain people are family and are married or connected to each other, friends, because they have a certain connection. The neshamas have a connection. The neshamas can be branched off from one another. The Alter Rebbe, it says, was the Baal Shem Tov, it said that with the Alter Rebbe's neshama came down a neshama chadasha, a new neshama that never was here in this world before. All the neshamas went through Gilgul. They've been here. Most people their neshamas are Gilgul, reincarnation of a previous neshama, from a previous lifetime. Now Rizal writes that that's the idea of Gagulin, the concept of Gilgul HaNeshama, that the neshama comes back down to complete its mission, explains to us, if someone understands the background, will understand most of life's issues are explained based on the concept of Gilgul. Because there are certain things a person needs to do in this world for the inyan of Gilgul. It's a famous story to Baal Shem Tov that there was a woman who didn't have any children, and she came and she begged the Baal Shem Tov for a bracha. Baal Shem Tov gave her a bracha, and after, when the child became 2 years and she was going to weaning him off from nursing, so she brought him for the Baal Shem Tov to give a bracha. Baal Shem Tov said to Shama should take the neshama, take the baby, and bring him the baby. And the Baal Shem Tov started kissing and hugging the baby. And then he gave back the baby. And she went home, and when she came home, the baby was nifter. So she felt that this has something to do with what the Baal Shem Tov did. So she came back to Baal Shem Tov, screaming, yelling, you killed the baby, what did you do, what did you do? So Baal Shem Tov said, calm down, I want to tell you a story. One time there was a king, and he didn't have any children. And the king asked the advisor as to what should he do? You advise me about all my wars, about everything. And you have advice for me, I don't have any children, who's going to inherit my kingdom? So they said, the only one who can help you are the Jews. He said, I'll give them whatever they want. I want a child. So it's not going to help if you're nice to them. You have to make a decree against them and tell them that if within a year you don't have a child, you're gonna expel them from your country, and then you'll have a child. So the king took his advice, made a decree. The Yidden were davening and fasting and everything like that, and all the cries of the Yidden came up l'mayla. And there was one neshama who came before Kisei HaKavod and said, "I'm willing to go and be moise nefesh and to become a goyish child, to be born to the king, and this way to save Klal Yisrael. Now this child grew up, and he's growing older. He already learned everything. He was very, very brilliant. And the child said to the father that I don't find any enjoyment when I'm learning. I know everything. So he said, I'm going to call you the Galach. The Galach was considered the most intelligent person in town. So the Galach himself should privately give you lessons. So the Galach came to give him lessons, but before the Galach started the lessons, he said to the king that I have 2 hours a day that I go up, I ascend into heaven. So no one's allowed to come to me at that time. It's very dangerous. No one could come to me. So if you tell your son that he can't come to me those 2 hours, the rest of the day I don't mind teaching him and a lot of knowledge. And the prince was enjoying this relationship with the Galach, but he was curious. He wanted to know what goes on those 2 hours over there. How does he get upstairs? So he got himself some keys, and he came in there. And he sees the Galach sitting with a talis and tefillin and learning Gemara. So he said to him, and the Galach fainted from shock. When he got up, he said that now you have to tell me what's going on. So he told him that I'm really a Jew, and you can't tell anyone this. So he said, if you're a Jew, then why are you a Galach? So he said that he already went most of his life. He already behaved this way. He's already old. He can't. This is the way it is, and he's stuck. And this is his position. He's stuck, but he's really a Jew, and 2 hours a day he's davening and learning. This is what he does. So the prince was very interested. He wanted to learn more about Torah. He didn't want to tell him because of the king's son, and he's going to be upset. But he pushed him and everything, and he told him that I'll teach him, but it has to be a secret. And he taught him. After a while, he wanted to become a ger, and he said, "This is very dangerous for me to make you a ger and everything like that." And so he said, "How should I do it?" So he told him that maybe you should tell the king that you want to go to a faraway country, you want to check out other countries, and there you'll find a way to escape. And so that's what it was. He told the king that the king loved the son so much, they had to. I want to go other places to travel to learn more about your country, but I know it's hard for us to depart from each other because we love each other, seeing each other so much. So we'll start off slowly, having times we don't see each other, intervals of times where we don't. And after a while, there was times, a few weeks, they didn't see each other. And then finally he went on the trip. And he came with his servants. He came to the city near the border. And he came near the border. So he told the servants that they need to stay in the city for a while. And they should go back to the palace. And as soon as they left, he skipped the border. And he was Megayer. He became a Ger Tzedek. And he took with him enough money to live the rest of his life. When he was Nifter, he came before the Shemayim, Bezan Shamayla. And what could he say about such a neshama that was Meisa Nefesh to become a Goyish prince? There was one thing he said. For 2 years, he was nursed by the Goyish milk in the king's palace. So Lamaisa, the neshama had to come back down for another 2 years, a Gilgul, another 2 years. And what does it bother you that was your son? That your child that you had that lived for 2 years was only exactly for 2 years lived just to make up for those 2 years. But that you had such a great neshama in your midst. That's what the Baal Shem Tov told the mother. So that's the Indian. Some neshamas don't come with Gilgul, and that's the first time they don't have. It's a very special neshama. So the Alter Rebbe, whether you are a chassid, you're not a chassid, everyone knows that Klal Yisrael was enlightened by the Alter Rebbe's light, sign in the Torah of Nigla, of Shulchan Aruch, and his Shuvas which he wrote, and also in his Derech and Avodas Hashem, in Tanya and other Svarim, that La'iri Neilech Netzach Salavod.